Good afternoon. Actually, today, welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Wednesday, December 21st, 2011, and we are in Luke chapter 9, verse 10. On their return, the apostles told him all that they had done, and he took them and withdrew apart to a town called Bethsaida. When crowds learned it, they followed him, and he welcomed them and spoke to them of the kingdom of God and cured those who had need of healing. Now the day began to wear away, and the 12 came and said to him, "Send the crowd away to go into the surrounding villages and countryside to find lodging and get provisions, for we are here in a desolate place." But he said to them, "You give them something to eat." They said, "We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, unless we are to go and buy food for all these people." For there were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, "Have them sit down in groups of about 50 each." And they did so, and had them all sit down. And he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. He looked up to heaven and said a blessing over them. Then he broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples to set before the crowd. And they all ate and were satisfied, and what was left over was picked up, 12 baskets of broken pieces. Alrighty. It's a miracle. Jesus is teaching. Crowds are following as usual. He's got a huge crowd. 5,000 men. Probably with the children and the women. Let's say 15,000 people. Alright, probably. So, a massive amount of people. And they're all hungry. Jesus tells his disciples, "You give them something to eat." They said, "We got nothing." Well, what are we supposed to do? But look at here. Look at here. You might think you have nothing, but let's see. So, they got 5 loaves and 2 fish. Now we know from other accounts, that was a little boy's lunch. 5 loaves and 2 fish. And those loaves weren't like the big loaves of bread you get in the grocery store nowadays. Those were just little, well, basically it was sardines and crackers. That's what they had. But sometimes, see, you got to understand this. You may be looking at your life right now and thinking what you don't have instead of what you do have. Because you know what you have is enough. If God is for it, if God touches it, if God blesses it, what you have is enough to meet your need and to overflow and meet other people's needs too. You may think you're broke, but you don't know what God has in store. You may be jobless, but you don't know what God has in store. Perhaps you have the skills, the knowledge, the training to get a different job than what you thought you could get, one that's better. See? Because you're going to be able to do a lot more than you think you're going to be able to do with what you got when God touches it. They didn't think they could do much with 5 loaves and 2 fish. They didn't know what was going to happen when God touched it. You understand? You get what I'm saying? You just don't know what's going to happen when God touches it. So give God what you got. You can't give him nothing. Look, God's in the multiplication business, alright? And if you go back to school, remember your multiplication tables? 0 times anything is still 0. So no matter what, if you give God 0, even if he multiplies it, you're going to get 0. But just give him a little bit. He can multiply it, and then multiply it, and then multiply it, and then multiply it, till you got lots and lots and lots. But you got to give him something. Give God something. Give him something to work with. This is especially true in tithing. Some of us don't tithe. Well, God can't bless that. But give him what you got. Give him 1/10 of what you got. You say, "Well, I don't have much." Well, give him 1/10 of that. He can bless it. They didn't have much. The need was great. God met the need. And look at this. Not only did he meet it, he exceeded it. They had 12 basketfuls left over. And what a coincidence, 12 disciples 12 basketfuls. Hopefully they shared some of that with Jesus since he's the one that did the miracle. But it's incredible what God can do with a little bit. You just be watching for him to do something amazing in your life that you never thought possible with the little bit that you give him. All right? Maybe you can do something with that. I think that's pretty inspiring and pretty cool. Hey, you talk about cool. You come back tomorrow. We got one of the coolest things in the whole Bible on the next edition of Take 5.